Are you ready? Hey, think you can tell us what to do?
Welcome, ladies and gents, to the most must-see podcast in wrestling history. It's PWC, and it is the Smackdown review. What's up, everyone? I'm your mother's favorite podcaster, Vas, and I've got a really good episode of Smackdown to review with you guys. Live audience, Houston brought it, and they brought it big time. It was fantastic show, all in all, in my opinion. And we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty and all the shocks and surprises that a live audience brought for us here on Smackdown's review show. From me, don't forget, ladies and gents, please click subscribe and click the notify button. And make sure you get all your content right here on PWC. We've got reviews, we've got lists, and you can, if you haven't checked it out yet, go check out our major players talk that we had, where we talked about Money in the Bank, which is coming up on Sunday. Right, let's get straight into the review of SmackDown. SmackDown kicked it off with the chairman of the board. No chance in hell. Yeah, it was Vince McMahon's music, and the pop, it was one of the first of many pops. I even popped a little bit watching that. Vince McMahon came out to the ring. Well, he actually came out to the red entranceway and literally said 6 words and left, and it's like, where the hell have you been? And then just left, because that's Vince McMahon. Yeah. We then got greeted with our tribal chief's music, and he made his way very methodically to the ring, accompanied by the Usos, and the Bloodlines was there to kick off our first in-ring action. It was going to be the Bloodline taking on the Mysterios and Edge in a 6-man tag team match. We also then got the announcement that the Usos and the Mysterios will battle each other in the pre-show of Money in the Bank for the tag team titles. The match kicked off. It was a fantastic, like, just straight up, you could feel the energy from the crowd. I think they just brought that extra energy that this whole thing needed. I think it was a big loss, and this was fantastic to see. And I mean, Dominic, I was split shocked when I read this, and I actually had to go look it up as well. This was the first time Dominic Mysterio had wrestled in front of a live crowd on the main roster, which is something a little bit scary, because if you think about it, like, I feel like Dominic's been around for at least 2-3 years, but no, he hasn't. So there, well done to the young lad getting his first taste of a live audience. And this match was just frantic from start to finish. Everything about this was just beautifully constructed. I mean, the parts of the Usos had, the part of Mysterio's had, Edge and Roman Reigns, of course, all in that was fantastic. The Bloodline picked up the victory, but that's not what we want to talk about. The match itself was fantastic. Let's not get that wrong. But after the match, of course, it was the incident that we need to talk about, how the Usos tried to take out Mysterio. Edge came into the ring with a chair, took out Jimmy and Jay, solidly hit within the back and in the stomachs. And then Roman Reigns hit a Superman punch on Edge. And he took the chair, when he was putting out the pole there, he was going to put a crossface on Edge. But Edge countered that and put another crossface on Roman Reigns with the bar across his face. And then he tapped out. Yes, that was the key thing there, that Roman Reigns has unofficially tapped out to Edge. And now the question is, can Edge do that on Sunday at Money in the Bank to become the new Universal Champion? Only time will tell. But all in all, great opening match to SmackDown, and that obviously built the foundation of what's to come. We then saw backstage Edge chatting to Kayla, and a little teaser with Seth Rollins there, so that's obviously setting something up for the near future. We then had Sami Zayn exit out into the ring and talking about how this is all a conspiracy, and now that the live audience is back, he's got their support. Didn't have their support. He was a bit frustrated, saying what a travesty it is that he was not in Money in the Bank, and that he is the man that should be. It's an injustice, and I'm telling you guys now, it is an injustice that Sami Zayn is not in that Money in the Bank match. He should have been in it. He should have been the winner of it, but alas, he's not. Anyway, during his rambling, I got a pop that I screamed like a little 3-year-old girl. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it was the return of the prince. It was Finn Balor's music hit, and Balor is back on the main roster. He's back on SmackDown after a very successful run back on NXT. Finn Balor is back on SmackDown. Yes, I can't say that enough. Came down to the ring, and Sami Zayn was trying to chat to him and then tried to take a sneak shot. Balor countered that, hit him with a couple of shots, and then ended all with a coup de grace, and he celebrated in front of the millions and millions of fans. There's only about 40,000, I think, in the stadium, which is still a hell of a lot of people. And the pop was... You could feel it through your screen. I was watching it through my TV screen, and I could feel it. I felt it right here. I think Goosey's just talking about Finn Balor's return. Yes, Finn Balor's back on SmackDown. We then moved back into the ring for some in-ring action, and we got a non-title women's tag team match, but of course the stipulation being if Shotzi and Nox win, they are in line to get a title shot against Natalya and Tamina. Now, the thing is about this match is we had Liv Morgan and Zelina Vega at ringside as well on commentary, and it was a bit of a shame because I was very distracted by them. I wanted to watch the ring in action, and I mean, Shotzi and Blackheart and Natalya and Tamina were putting on a decent match from the little that I could pay attention, but I kept getting drawn into this Liv Morgan, Zelina Vega commentary, and it distracted from the actual point of this match. Like, it actually, in contrast to Money in the Bank, it actually had nothing to do with Money in the Bank, so I don't actually know why Zelina and Liv were there. Maybe because Natalya and Tamina are in the match, but during the match, it didn't actually come into play that they were going to be involved in any sort of thing. It was just them bantering, and it was just bickering. It wasn't even bantering. It was me, and that's what it sounded like on the... Like, it was very distracting. Pat McAfee, I'll give my hat off to him. He tried his best try and keep bringing it back to the ring action, but it just got very... And then, yeah, so I can't really talk much about the match itself. Shotzi and Nox got the victory, which is great, which means we'll get a title match somewhere down the line. But again, it just felt so distracted because of Liv and Zelina. Unfortunately, it happens. We then got the Women's Championship match, and you guys know I'm not a huge fan of Bianca Belair. I feel like she's a bit, I think she's lost a bit of a touch. I've never been high on her. I've never really seen much about her, and I'll give credit to her today in this one time in this video, because her and Carmella brought the action that was needed. I was a little bit worried, I won't lie. I thought I was looking forward to Bianca and Bayley, but obviously with injuries to Bayley, they had to make a plan. And you know what? Carmella stepped up to the plate. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a title run shortly for Carmella. I think her in-ring abilities have improved tenfold since the last time she was champion. And I think this whole most beautiful woman in the WWE gimmick is perfect for her. It sets her up nicely as that proper heel. Bianca was, again, very well done to her, coming out, unprepared and things like that, and having to change your style and things like that. Again, solid performance for her. She has put in solid performances in the ring. I think her mic work is still what bothers me the most. Bianca came out on top with a KOD in the end, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see more of this. A nice little fun fact that I recently learned. I don't know how true it is. I haven't actually looked it up, but if it is true, that's quite interesting. Since Sasha Banks beat Bayley, Bianca Belair has only faced 3 different opponents in singles competition, and that is Bayley, Sasha Banks, and of course now Carmella, which is quite interesting to see how thin the women's division is on SmackDown, and how protected Bianca Belair is actually, because if you look at the 3, 2 of them are considered some of the best workers in the industry, and Carmella is not a slouch herself. Let's not take that away from Carmella. She is a 2-time Money in the Bank winner, so don't forget about that. And Yeah, she's also a former WWE Smackdown champion, so she's not a slouch. She's got what it takes to be in the ring, and it just shows you how protected they are of Bianca Belair. And listen, don't get me wrong, I think in a couple of years' time, I think Bianca Belair will be a household name. I think she will be one of the greatest WWE wrestlers. I do. I think she's got the skill set to do it. She just needs to improve on the minor things now. Get, the mic work up, or a bit of in-ring presence. Maybe get Montel, get her husband forward to help her, get better on the mic, and don't get so whiny and no one wants to hear that. Come on. Well done to Bianca, though, retaining her SmackDown title. We had a bit of a backstage segment with Otis and the Alpha Academy, and introducing us to their new mantras. They smell fear. I need to shave that side. Yeah. Anyway, and then we proceeded to the match between Cesaro and Otis, and how the mighty have fallen. That's all I can say. Cesaro, man, you deserve so much more. But anyway, we had the match. It was a good match. It wasn't. Look, I'm even yawning. That's how bad. That's how tiring that match was. But no, it wasn't that bad, man. For what it was a solid build-up to probably a rivalry between Cesaro and Otis and the Alpha Academy, which is a way to get Otis over, I think, in the meantime. Cesaro picked up the victory, but it wasn't about the victory that with the talking point. Is about the beatdown afterwards. I mean, Chad Gable and Otis just decimated Cesaro. Really just brutalized, and just adding to the point that this is what the team is about, that Otis is this big man that's there to destroy everything and anyone in his sight. And it's putting the point across quite nicely, so that's how this one progresses. But again, for what it was a decent match. I don't think it brought the overall quality of SmackDown down in any bit. I think storyline wise it progressed. The pops maybe should have been a bit higher for Cesaro or Otis, but in the end it was there. It happened, and again, didn't make it worse, didn't make it better. It was there. And then just before the main event, we got a very down and sad looking Baron Corbin coming out to the ring. We got a little bit of a history on what happened to Corbin, how he lost his car, he's lost his investments, he's lost his savings, he's going to get foreclosed on his house, and he can't feed his kids, and they have to eat spaghetti out of a can and not Wagyu beef as they used to. He's 2-year-old apparently, which I like the storyline where it's going. And then we got introduced to the Baron Fund, or Baron Corbin Fund, whatever it was called. Basically a crowdfundme, a website where you can go donate money to Baron Corbin and help him reach his goal of $100,000. That's all he needs to survive, to pay off a few bills and to feed his family is what he needs. $100,000. I think this is a great storyline. I enjoy it a lot. Yeah, I think it's fantastic. Actually, I love it. I love the angle. I hope they continue with this and go full on with Baron Corbin. Kevin Owens came out and interrupted him, and Baron was like, "Listen, Kevin, obviously I can see you. Yeah, if I can get you to agree with the guys in the locker room and get everyone in the crowd to do that and help me, I'll be eternally grateful. I can obviously see that you don't spend a lot of money on the wardrobe, so that means you have some money to help me," which I thought was one of the best lines of the night. And then for his troubles, he got a stunner just to end Baron Corbin's day. And then we got into the main event, which was the fatal four-way between the 4 Money in the Bank competitors on the SmackDown brand. We had King Nakamura going against Big E, Kevin Owens, and Seth Rollins. And the fatal four-way match kicked off. It was everything that I expected it to be. I mean, if this is the type of energy that we're going to get in SmackDown, can you imagine the type of energy that we're going to get at Money in the Bank? We already know the type of energy that Ricochet and Johnny Morrison can bring. And of course, adding Riddle and Drew McIntyre to that mix can only benefit everybody. And then I still believe Sami Zayn is going to enter that match at some point. He has to enter that match. So I'm excited for this. After watching this fatal four-way and watching how all 4 guys, the chemistry that they have in the ring was fantastic. The spots were off the Chains, fantastic. And you know what? I'm gonna tip my hat over to Big E. I thought he was a bit of the going into this match, I thought he was a bit of the weaker link of the four. He hasn't had much time on the bigger stage, main eventing, that sort of stuff. Yes, he's been in a tag team and 11-time tag team champions, which is fantastic, or 10-time tag team. I don't know what he is, but he's always been a bit safe, if that's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, safe. He's been protected. There we go. He's been protected by Kofi and Xavier Woods. And this time was his first time he really got to shine outside of his comfort zone. He had some really good matches with Apollo Crews, but we keep remembering that Nigerian drum match and then we keep hating it every time. So I think it's helped Big E get over a little bit. And the live audience just soaked up every little bit of just energy there. And they produced that by 20. They just multiplied that by 5,000. In this match. It was fantastic to watch. And my biggest take, though, I've got to talk about the spot actually before I talk about my biggest take. The spot where King Nakamura was put on the table, not the table, by Seth Rollins. He was going to climb to the top. KO pushed him off, went to the top, and elbow dropped him from the top of the ladder through the announcer's table. That basically took them out of the match. And then Seth Rollins hit a curb stomp. Or just a stomp now. I don't think it's called a curb stomp anymore. Just a stomp to Big E on the steel ladder and picking up the victory. He then made a statement, put the ladder in the ring, climbed up to the top and took the Money in the Bank briefcase and celebrated like he had just won it. And is this a sign to come Money in the Bank? Will Seth Rollins be a 2-time Mr. Money in the Bank winner? Or will we have a fresh face winning it? So just my outcome on this match, I think it was beautifully portrayed and really underplayed Nakamura and Big E's involvement in what will happen and Money in the Bank. I've got a feeling they're going to be a lot more involved than we actually think. Again, I think Kevin Owens is going to be taken out by Sami Zayn at some point. I'm feeling it. I'm really feeling it. And then you look at the likes of Ricochet and Johnny Morrison. They'll probably take each other out at some point, and I think it leaves the door open for maybe like a Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre little face-off. I know who I said I was going to pick to win the whole thing. If it wasn't, of course, Sami Zayn, because I still believe Sami Zayn. But, there's a little bit of part of me that every single one of these 8 men, I want them to win it. Maybe not Kevin Owens as much, because I don't think Kevin Owens needs it as much as everyone else. I think he's so over. His reaction when his music hit was just phenomenal compared to everybody else. But yeah, there's a shot for everybody. Anyway, that was the main event. Seth Rollins picked up the victory in the Fatal 4-Way. And all in all, what a show, man. Whoa, SmackDown was. For the first live show coming out of WWE, it was just exactly what we all expected. I think we underestimated the value of the crowd with the pops and all of that sort of stuff that came out. I marked out. Finn Balor, I was doing the hand salutes. I was doing all of that. Kevin Owens stunning Corbin. I was popping. And I think that helps a lot in going for the live audience, really. It makes all that much difference. I enjoyed the Thunderdome era. I think the things they did in the Thunderdome era were great. But you can't beat a live crowd. And with that being said, let's go to the Vas scale. It was a decent SmackDown event. I'm taking the live crowd out and the enthusiasm out of that side and just slowly basing it on the episodes that we watched. Yeah, it wasn't too bad at all. We got a hot opener with the 6-man tag match. It was fantastic to watch. The second match of the night was a bit, it was alright. I think the biggest letdown of the actual night itself was the ladies tag team match. And I think that was not because of the ladies in the ring, but rather what happened outside that ring. I just don't think it helped the entire situation a lot in that. I don't think it got anybody over. And all it really did was just annoy me and just lower the chances that I'm supporting Liv or Zelina Vega in Money in the Bank. All in all, though, not a bad show. I really enjoyed the Fatal 4-Way ending and the opening. I think they did a fantastic job. So with that, SmackDown gets an 8. A good show. They've been on a good roll, so well done to them. That's all the time we have for you guys. From me, your mother's favorite podcaster, Vaz. Remember, guys, to please click subscribe and the notify button. Leave any comments you want in the comments section below. We'll get back to you guys. We'll chat to you guys. We're going to be there. I'm going to be in there. And if you haven't watched any of our other videos, please, guys, go and watch that, especially the major players talk video. Myself, Jeremy, and Ash really got into it, and I think it was about an hour. I think the whole thing was about almost 2.5 hours that we just chatted, and you guys got the edited version, but oh man, we had so much laughs, man. My stomach was hurting after that, so just go and have a look at that and share it with your friends. Tell your parents, grandparents, lovers, haters, whoever like. PWC on YouTube is where you need to be. For me, though, till next time, peace and chicken grease.